Hello everyone and welcome to day one of the 12 cast-ons for the new year. This is Love for Knots YouTube channel. My name is Cary. So I'll tell you about the project that we picked yesterday and show you the yarns and how far along we got. I'm actually recording this on January 2nd because yesterday was the first, and our very good friends that we do a lot of things with always have a New Year's Day party. So we go over there, spend lots of time at their house doing all the things. And I have some video footage that I'll put in here at the end of the random wheel picker. Still not sure what we're calling that thing. I'll have to look and see. But I'll show you the picker and that it picked the project that I worked on last night. And then the footage, I'll show some of her Christmas decorations. She has a Christmas tree in almost every single room of her house. I only got one room, I think. Yeah, just her living room. So I'll show you that at the end of the video, but we'll talk about how far we are as of last night, which you could have called part of it this morning because I worked on it until 12:30. And there was a point in time last night while I was working on it that I was like, you know what? I'm just going to sit here and work on this for the rest of the month until it's finished and not even worry about picking the other projects because I am thoroughly enjoying what my project is yesterday. So it picked the gingerbread sweater that I don't have the name of the designer. I didn't even look at it before I started recording this morning. Silly me. I'll try and put it in the notes below. When I did the notes for the pre-video for all of this, I was going through, had everything wrote out, all the projects, all the bags, everything. And then YouTube wanted me to verify that it's me to add all the links, and it lost everything. And I was like, I'm not going through all of that again, especially when I was trying to get ready to go to our friend's house before I uploaded yesterday. So we got the gingerbread sweater. I am using the pumpkin fade kit by Barnyard, Barnyard Knits. Plus a Mohair. That's part they are. Plus a Mohair from 3 by the Sea Designs. I had actually gotten this Mohair for a different sweater, but when I was trying to think of what I could use for this gingerbread sweater that I absolutely love, this was the only yarns that I could think of that I thought would work excellent because the first color I have is a light color. It's really blowing out here. There you go. That's what it is. So it's this really pale white with some almost a mustardy yellow green color, and it just looks excellent with this color in here. And then you'll see color like this in the rest of the yarns because I'm doing a fade. But now this was the first time I've done a tubular cast on, and I'm hoping that the cast on edge looks better after it's blocked. Because right now it is my least favorite part of this sweater. So here we are. I think that that is just amazing. I'm so in love with this color. Even though it's not really a color that I pick out for myself a lot, but that just looks amazing. So that is color 1. And I'll try and get the rest of these colors and color one for the fade. So here are, the 5 colors. And not all of them are named. I don't remember if that one had a name. The second one doesn't have a name. The third color is Fairy Tale Pumpkin. The fourth one does not have a name, but the fifth one is Cinderella Pumpkin. And then this is Barnyard Knits. And I have had these yarns for quite a while. I would say probably at least 2 years. So my knitting story is that, like, I learned to crochet from my grandmother when I was really young. She died when I was 7. So when I say learn to crochet, like, she was teaching me how to chain and, you know, chaining for miles. I remember making chains and wrapping them around like plastic eggs and gluing them on. So then I was probably 24, 25 when I wanted to learn how to really crochet and knit. So I went down to the store, bought 2 books, the Teach Yourself to Crochet and Teach Yourself to Knit. And so I was self-taught before YouTube came up. You know, YouTube wasn't even a thing back then. And so I taught myself how to knit and crochet and, you know, dabbled in it for quite a while. And made the obligatory scarves, dish rags, pot holders, baby blankets out of, you know, the big box store yarns. And so then I, you know, was still dabbling, but in 2021, was it 20? I think it was 20 when COVID hit and I was on leave from work because they were forcing us to wear masks, and I can't wear something that covers my nose and my mouth without having panic attacks. So I wasn't allowed to go to work. So then I discovered YouTube. I discovered knitting on YouTube. And I discovered sock knitting videos. And let me tell you, that is when all of my yarn buying started. So all of my over 30,000 grams of yarn that I have has been acquired since the middle of 2020. So it's been an adventure, to say the least. I guess I was buying up all that yarn in those 5 years to prepare for my retired life. So that's been my journey into knitting. Where was I going with that? Anyone remember? I don't. Oh, Lord. Anyway, I am also waiting for UPS to arrive with my new package today. I ordered a camera and hopefully we'll do some better videos, have better editing abilities. Yeah, so I think that's everything about my project for today. And last night, like after 12:30 when I went to bed, all I could think about for 2 hours laying in bed was getting up and continuing to knit instead of sleeping. And maybe I should have woke up or gotten out of bed and just knit, because I certainly didn't sleep until after 3 o'clock this morning. So I've already picked my project for January 2nd, which is today, but I also have, and I've knit a few rounds on it, but I also have bowling league that I have to go to this afternoon. So we'll be doing that. And then I'll be coming home at some point today. I have to knit a sweater for my sister. For my birthday, we went and visited them, and they live up in the mountains in Colorado, which is where I am. But I'm on the plains of Colorado. So we went and visited my sister and her husband, and they live up in the mountains. And so I took some hand knit sweaters. Well, she's like, well, you could knit me one of those. You could knit me one of those. You could knit me one of those. I'm a size medium. And so when I talked to her the other day, she's coming down for my granddaughter's birthday party tomorrow. And she's like, did you finish my sweater? I'm like, sister, I ain't even started your sweater. You know, you got to pick out patterns. You got to pick out yarn. I don't just have random yarn sitting around waiting for Sister Sarah's sweater to be knit on it. And then I remembered that I have patterns for little sweater ornaments. She's going to get a sweater, and that'll be her sweater. So we'll see how that goes. So I have to work on that today. I've already started. Like I said, I've got a few rounds done on today's project, which I love. I love it. And I can't wait to have the finished object. But this gingerbread sweater is still calling my soul. Like it's saying, no, you want me, work on me. And I'm like, oh, sister, you will be finished quickly. But I just have to get through these 12 days, and I'm going to spend some time knitting on it. So I think that's everything that I have to say for January 1st project. And we will talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.